All right, so I'm going to start now. Or let's do one more minute. There's a lady there. She's.
Yeah.
And where are you from?
LA, Los Angeles.
You're where? From where?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. I used to live in Hermosa Beach and Palos Verdes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Are you French?
I'm French Canadian.
French Canadian. Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm German.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could hear a little accent. Did you come to California for the weather or?
My ex-husband.
Oh, okay. All right. There's someone coming in again. Hi, how are you? So I'm going to just start because I started a project for myself and my daughter. My daughter moved to 29 Palm, and I realized that, and her landlord was telling us that there's the real estate is really booming there because obviously of the Joshua National Park. And ironically, since my daughter told me she was moving there, I started looking for real estate, and there's a lot of vacant lot there. So when my daughter moved in, her landlord was telling them, because she has two roommates, and she's in the Marine Corps. She's based there in the Marine Corps base. And the landlord told the three gals, they're very young, they're 24 and 25 and 28. And she said, you guys should buy real estate here because it's booming. And since there's a lot of vacant lot also, you can just buy the lot and just let it sit there for a while because it's very cheap. Yeah. So my name is Lucie Leblanc and I'm from Northern California. And I'm a little crazy about real estate. I mean, I should have become a real estate agent, but for some reason I chose a different path. But I'm always looking for houses. And before the pandemic, I would always walk into open houses and things like that. And I've lived in some amazing places like Southern California by the beach in Los Gatos. So when I would go into those houses, they were like multi-million-dollar home. So, all right. So let me change this. Hi. And by the way, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to give you a lot of information. And again, it's recorded. Now I don't know how to change slide. Oh, yeah. Oh, a little technical difficulty here. Let's say should be in the view.
If you click on normal.
Okay, now I think, no, it's, where is that normal? View?
Now you see it on the top left-hand side, normal.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, it's safer.
You also want to maximize your screen, I think.
The thing is, I don't know how to change slide.
So well, you just click on the left-hand side, you can just manually click on the second slide.
Oh, okay. All right, so this is my project. I just submitted my design to the city of 29 Palm. This area here, this is a little shed. This is going to be the living room with the mud room, laundry room, and kitchen. And here there'll be 2 bedrooms with 2 baths. And in the background here, it's a little AUD that I'm going to use for short-term rental Airbnb.
That's
so,
awesome.
And
Lucy, do you mind maximizing your screen? If you click, yeah.
But how do I change slide? Oh, okay. All right. So,
okay.
Do you see correctly?
Yeah, it's just not taking up the whole screen. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
If you press presentation or slide view, slideshow, you were almost there. Slideshow right there. See if that'll help.
Because usually when you click return, it should
and
Anyway.
allow you to play from current slide.
Anyways, do you see the slide?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
I
going to
think
be recorded, so maybe you can see it on a bigger screen. Anyways, so the reason why a lot of people are doing a container home, first of all, they're very cheap and they're environmentally sustainable and they are eco-friendly. And they're, you recycle instead of discarding these containers, who knows where they're going. They are just refurbishing. And most containers don't have many trips. So when you look for containers, they will say brand new containers or one trip. And I would think it's from overseas. So you have the choice to buy a brand new container, but the best is to buy a recycled one, a container that has already been used for some sort of transportation. And also the second reason, it's really safe. I mean, the first time I met with a builder, he said, you can have your container rolled down the street and it's going to still be intact. It's really, really strong structure. It's all steel. And also their stackability. You can stack them I don't know if any of you have seen a ship coming into a port, like if you are around on the East Coast or West Coast. I mean, here in California, we see them coming in and they all stacked up. And so you can use them as little multi-family structure, and look at that. And to me, if I know I live in the Bay Area and homelessness is a big problem, and they're actually trying to build home for them. If they would be using those containers, it would be so cheap and very solid and strong structure. So also the thing about container, you can customize them as you want. It's really so many possibilities, and if you work with the designer also, I mean, it's just incredible what you can come up with, all sorts of ideas. And you can have one container, two container. And like I said, since they're stackable, you can do multi-family home. And shipping container home also are really good for a ADU backyard unit or short-term rental.
That's
so
awesome.
I know that now a lot of cities are giving permission to build ADU in your backyard, either for offices or because since the pandemic, a lot of people were looking for ways to work at home. And so I think the cities were allowing a little bit more to build in your backyard.
So, Lucy, I just have a quick question. So before you even considered buying this land, did you look into any kind of, did you investigate that this is allowed on this land, or was there
well, that's
electricity, water, all of that has to
be that's what you it's kind of, I'm going to talk about that a little later, but that's one thing. First of all, I know that the reason why I went with container, it's because I knew that in the Joshua Valley area they were permitting it. But obviously Joshua Tree is a small town. You have Yucca Valley also, you have 29 Palm, and there's a lot of tiny little town around this area. And obviously I knew it was permitted. But the first thing it's like Airbnb, right? If you are thinking to do an Airbnb somewhere, the first thing you have to do is contact the city if they allow it. For example, in San Francisco, you can do Airbnb, but no more than 90 days per year. So if you are planning to do Airbnb in San Francisco, well, I mean, you're going to have to find another way to get revenue, because you can only do it for 3 months. So it's, it's all preparation also. You have to call the city and know what you can do. So here is a customized container. And obviously, containers have either doors at both ends of the container. Some of them have only one door, and some of them have door on the side. So depending of what you're thinking to do, and if you have a contractor, for example, if you're planning to do a container like this with a big rolling door, you might be better off go with a container that has already doors. So it's less work for the factory or the contractor that will work with you. And see this one here, this is a 40-foot container. You have a bedroom there, a bathroom, a living area, and a kitchen. It's and those are perfect for glamping because obviously you have all the comfort of a home. You sleep in sheets, comfortable bed, but I don't know if you can see here, this is the sliding door. You can open this, and they're really meant to be kind of living with the nature. So you open the door and you feel like you're in an outdoor area.
Mm-hmm. Indoor, outdoor.
And this one has 2 bedrooms. And this is what I'm planning to do for the short-term rental I'm going to have in my property. Because like Teresa said, the more people you can sleep in your short-term rental, higher price you can sell. So I'm going to have a master bedroom. And in that area here, I'm going to have a bunk bed with 2 queen beds. So it's going to be, I will be able to host 6 people. And obviously people rent those type of facilities because, it's kind of, it's a different thing than a home or a hotel. And obviously with a lot of doors, windows, you feel like you're really living outdoor. See this one? That's the inside. Isn't it beautiful?
Wow. It's beautiful.
Yeah, It's just incredible. And you have also.
So do they come like this, or you have to?
I'll tell you later. And at the end, if you have more questions, you can ask me the question. See the roof deck here? I'm going to have 2 roof deck, one on the main house and also on the HDU. And also you can have, see, this is so nice. I'm going to have that too. I was thinking of a jacuzzi, but a jacuzzi, you have to maintain it with the chlorine and things like that. So, and see, this is here, it's like a tub. You can fill it in, empty it out, and they call this a cowboy bath. And you can have them on wheel. If they're on wheel, you can move them from one location to the other. They're really flexible, and it's endless what you can do. These are 3 containers put together. And this is the inside. See here, you have 3 bedrooms. You can host 6 people, maybe with a sofa bed here. You can have 8 people. And it's really comfortable. And also these containers come in 2 heights. One of them is called high cube. The high cube is 9.6 feet high. So this is kind of nice. And the other one, I think they are 8.6. And see, you have a French door here, another French door, and there's a roof deck on this one. So this is the one I just showed you, an L shape. You have a master bedroom here with a bathroom and a half bath here with another double bedroom. So it's very convenient and very comfortable. You can stack them again, and this is a pretty nice one too. So with a roof deck and also you can use these as storage room. I'm going to have one as a storage room or more like maybe a garage or a workshop. You can use them as office. You can use them as retail shops, workshop. I've seen one of the builder I was dealing with in Arizona. He said that he builds a lot of little restaurants and cafes, and a lot of them are in California. You can build accommodation unit, HDU, and those are very, very popular in the Joshua Tree area. And you can have mobile lab, like medical lab, anything. Like a lot of contractors are using them now as mobile office. So from one place to the other, they move, they hook it up to their truck, and they move to a new location. And they're very economical because, the shell is already done, the structure is already done. And as we know that since the pandemic, the cost of material for construction has doubled, maybe triple. So they are really cost effective. And here is the cost. So for example, I mean, if you have someone that is a contractor, you already know a contractor, or your husband is handy, or whoever, your boyfriend, or even yourself, you can buy them and build them yourself. So, and it's really easy to find. You go on Google, and usually there are, for example, Long Beach has a lot of places where you can buy them because the port comes in, they drop them off, and some of them are not, they don't use them anymore, so they put them on the market. If you go on Google, Craigslist, and they're really easy to find when you live on the coast, like Seattle, San Francisco here, Oakland, Long Beach, wherever there's a major port, you can find them probably a little bit cheaper. Oftentimes, the cost of delivering you have to think about that, because if you are in the middle of, for example, Denver or in the Midwest, they might be a little bit more expensive to buy because obviously they have to deliver them. So a 40-footer iCube container is about $35. That would be the cheapest price. Then you have the 40-footer container, the regular one, it's about the same price. And a 20-foot container is $2,500. And those are the regular size. Oftentimes, if you have a builder or contractor, they may split those. Like, for example, if you want a L-shaped container, it's probably cheaper for a builder to buy two 40-footer, split one in half, than buy a 40-footer and a 20-foot container.
What's HC?
High cube. It's a high ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
And if you customize them, I put 50,000 to 90,000, but the custom, it can go up to, depending. Some people, I've seen marble floor, I've seen beautiful bath, and it's depending how high end you want it. A 40-footer container, again, it's about the same price, and a 20-footer container, it's about 30,000 to 50,000 to build. And obviously, you can always buy the container. I've seen some people that have do-it-yourself package. So you buy the container, and I'm not sure how it comes, but I think you can just build it yourself. This would be the cheapest way for you to go out and start. The process is, first of all, you have to know what you want, and also your budget, obviously. And so here's the measurement of a 40-foot container. So it's 9.6 foot high by 8 foot wide and 40 foot long. And once these are isolated, you lose a little bit of the inside because they put isolation on the wall, and they put drywall also. So you have to think about that. This is the 40-foot container. It's 20 foot long, 8 foot high, and 8.6 foot tall. I doubt they have iCube 20-foot container, and that's probably why some of the builder, they cut the 40-foot container to make it, maybe a L shape, or depending of the design. So
how wide is the 40-foot one? How wide is that one?
8 foot. 8 foot, because they have to fit on the truck. And also I've seen 45-footer container, but they're more expensive. And one of the builder I worked with said they're a real pain to transport. So I don't know why. Find your location. And also, when you find your location, you have to also find out, some city requires a minimum square footage when you build something, unless it's an ADU. But if it's a main property, or the main unit to live in, some places they required sometimes a minimum of 500 square foot or 600 square foot. So you have to be aware of that. So,
the lot.
Excuse me?
For the lot size, you mean?
Yeah. No, the the lot, the property on the lot. So this is my property here, this one. So it goes from here to here, and it's in the middle of nowhere. That's why I bought this. And I bought this last April, and I paid, okay, when I started looking for this lot, and the way I do is I go on all sorts of real estate site and I check, and I put them aside and I look at them. Like I keep an eye on and eventually this lot disappeared, and it never said that it was sold or pending. So I was a bit disappointed because that was my favorite one, because I knew water was available and electricity. So that's another thing also when you go to buy a lot in this area. The first thing you have to do is check the ANP number, which is the number of the lot. So you take that number and you contact the water district in the city of this area, either Joshua Tree or depending. It's probably the same in some area in Texas where there's not much development, but you have to find out if the water is available. When the water is available, that means there's something on the lot where they can connect the water pipes. Mm-hmm. If not, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. It can cost you $100,000 to get water to the lot, because it's the city doesn't deal with that. Usually, in 29 Palm, once my design is accepted, I'm going to turn around and require a permit for water installation, a water meter installation, and the city will come eventually. I don't know how long it takes, but they will come and install a water meter. And it's once the water meter is installed, you want to find a contractor who will bring the water to wherever, depending where you're going to put your property, and also bring electricity. Electricity is the same thing. In that area, some place, there's no electricity available. And it costs, I think every electrical pole are 600 feet apart. And it costs $10,000 per 10,000 feet, because they have to put, if you are, for example, 1,500 feet away from an electrical pole, they're going to have to put 4 electrical pole, which will be $40,000. And usually you have to deal with the county. And I've contacted the city, the county of San Bernardino, and they're really hard to get a hold of. It can take you months. So this is one of the thing you have to be real careful, unless you're just buying property there and holding it and eventually sell it in a few years.
Are you on septic tank?
No. Oh yes, that's another thing. Actually 29 Palm, everybody's are on septic tank, and my daughter lives there, and that's what her landlord told her. Properties are getting a little higher there because the city has accepted to put sewer. So that means in a few years we'll have sewer availability. So that means it's a little more convenient. And I think I look for the price of a septic tank, and it's about, depending of the size of it, it's between $3,000 and $10,000 to install. So they're
$20,000 for a 1,200 gallon, which is like for 4 bedrooms. So I don't know how many. I know because I live on septic and I live on a well.
Okay. And what area do you live?
I live not far from there, Awanga, which is over the mountain, where Idlewild and Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
So I'm near Temecula, but I'm familiar with the area that you are speaking. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it. When you purchase the lot, some of them have already water meter. You have to check the water availability. That's and also you have to check for power, and usually the real estate agent never know that. And also regarding this area, when they say you can dig a well, the first thing I did months ago when I wanted to buy a property there, I called someone who was doing wells, and he said, it's really difficult to find water now. I mean, sometime, and obviously, if you have someone to dig a well for you, he's going to come with his equipment and you have to pay for his work, right? And you might end up never finding water. So sometimes it's worth, if you can get a water meter, it's worth getting the water meter, because you are guaranteed to get water. And find a builder, but container home are considered modular home. So sometimes it's better to get someone to build your container in a factory, unless you find someone that has experience with container. But most general contractor, they don't really want to work with the container because, you know, it's steel, and some of them don't really want to work with that. Mm-hmm. And here's the building process. So when you get this, and obviously I'm talking about building in a factory, because that's how I'm going to get my container done. So first of all, you find someone, and I would recommend to find several. And there's not that many on the West Coast. There's one that I found in Michigan, and one in Oregon. There's two that I'm dealing with in Arizona. And there's a few in Texas, but the one that I found in Texas, there's only one that offers everything, like consultation, design, permit, and delivery and installation. So you want to, and it's always good to have a good idea of what you want if you want to get a container. And so when you contact them, you already kind of know what you want. And then the first thing is they're going to design for you. They're going to make a plan. And what I did is I designed it myself. I went online. I found a lot of containers, and I did that. I designed them the way I wanted it. And I could have put two containers together, but it's a little more difficult because most people, they come, they deliver the container, they install them on the foundation. But sometimes if you don't have a contractor on site in the local area where you can have them finish the container, there's a lot of welding involved and things like that. So for me, I just rather have the two units separate. Mm. And then you have to obviously do the permit. So the first thing is you contact your city. Since it's a modular home, you will get your permit through the state. So once the city of 29 Palm says, yeah, you can build your permit, we will have to turn around and deal with the California State of Housing Development, and they're the one going to issue the permits. And obviously, these are container home, but they have to be according to code, like electricity, foundation, isolation, and everything. So it's not like you can just set your container on the lot, and it's very strict. And then eventually inspector will come once everything is done. And then you have to prepare the land. So once everything is accepted, you have to have a local contractor that will come. Again, like I said previously, they will hook up bring the water pipe to the property, where the property will sit, and electrical as well, and also the septic tank and everything like that. Preparing the land, that involves find a local contractor, and so everything has to be level because they will build a foundation. And then the foundation is either a concrete slab, and obviously depend of the area. Some area might just have to, it's pretty strict, but in that area, it's you can do concrete pillars, like a pier foundation. But obviously this is different for every city, every area. And I'm sure, in California, we have earthquake things, and some other area have tornadoes or hurricanes. So you have to make sure that the foundation is according to your local area. And then you can either do a gravel pad, and obviously this is just sitting there. And I'm not sure who would permit to, what area would do that. And then you can do a railroad ties. Apparently this is pretty cheap because railroad ties are very inexpensive. And actually the person that I was talking to in Texas, that's what he recommended, but I'm not sure. Maybe in Texas it's permitted. I'm not sure if it's permitted in the Joshua Tree area. And those are concrete blocks. And everything will be, secure on the block. The container will be secure on the block. Or you can have a regular concrete foundation, like if you build a regular house. But obviously, this is I would assume that concrete slab and concrete foundation are most expensive. And now you have to the utility. You have to do the utility hookup, the water, and also the electricity. And you see how it's built. So the thing is, they build like a frame inside the house. They put all the electrical, the plumbing and everything, and then they put a drywall or whatever finishing you want. You can also go off the grid, but I heard that in the 29 Palm, and that's another thing that is kind of funny because, when you buy a property, the real estate agency put that, oh, you go off the grid and dig a well. And obviously they are trying to sell a property, but you really have to make sure that this is permitted. I talked to a solar specialist in 29 Palm, and he said that city makes it really difficult to go off the grid. And I don't know why, because for me, I mean, it's amazing to be off the grid. You're not dependent. And especially in that area, there's so much sun, you can probably sell your electricity. So solar panel, some people go also with water tanks, either in ground or out ground, and or a well. So personally, I don't want to have to risk to have someone dig. And also wells are not really environmentally recommended, because if everybody has a well, it becomes a problem. So you really have to do your homework and, call the city, and it's really, can be a very long process, and, sometimes it can be hard to contact people, but if you're diligent and you really want this to be happening, you just go for it. So contact the city planning and make sure that you talk to several people in the city planning, because sometimes they give you different information. And one thing that I would really warn you is you should never allow someone negative opinion to affect your lifestyle or your dreams. Because I talked to a modular contractor, and I was telling him my project. He basically laughed in my face. And I said, okay, good, thank you. And I hung up the phone. Obviously this guy is a modular contractor. He wants to sell his product and stuff like that. But, do your research, learn about it. And because people are always going to throw up their negative opinion in your face. So if you're just keep your eyes focused on your goal and your project, and I can guarantee that eventually it's going to manifest. And so I would recommend to go with a factory builder, and the thing about when you get a project built in factory, you can have your container delivered in maybe 4 or 6 weeks. So and a regular contractor, sometimes they have to come on the property. Sometimes they have other projects going on at the same time, and it can be dragging for months and months. So factory, and a lot of factories also offer to help with design, planning, and also they can even get your permit for you. So you just give them everything, And obviously it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but that's what they do. So they know where to call and who to talk to. So sometimes it's worth, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to have my builder do the permitting. I have not chosen my builder yet. I've got 4 estimates. I'm still waiting on one. So I'm just waiting for the city. And once the city says yes, I'm going to just go ahead and decide on who I'm going to go with. So here is one builder in Phoenix, Arizona. This guy does a lot of commercial building, and all of his when he builds, it's all steel inside. So I'm not sure if you remember, I show you the utility and it was wood framing. This guy does everything, steel framing and everything, and it's commercial. So if he builds a unit for home, it's going to be as if it's a commercial unit. So his price are decent. There's this other guy here, High-Tech Container. He's also in Phoenix. These guys are a little bit more pricey, but they really can do a high-end container. Also, this SI Container Builds, they're in the Michigan area. And that team of builder, they have contractor all over United States that, for example, if once they deliver the container, they're going to use some of their contractor to help you finish the construction. So it's kind of a good thing to have because sometimes contractors are busy and they don't have time. So these people guarantee that you will have someone finishing up the work when the container are delivered on site. There's also this place, the Relevant Builder in Oregon. They are just amazing and their price are just stunning. I mean, they're the best price, but unfortunately they work only with Oregon and Washington State. I wanted to have them build, but they said, no, we don't deal with California because the permitting is it's too complicated. And also this alternative living space is in California, Los Angeles. I think they're in Sherman Oak or in the Los Angeles area. They're very pricey, but it's beautiful. And again, these people have design permits and everything. So that's oftentimes that's why it's more expensive because they offer more service. There's also this cubeliving.com. They are the one in Sherman Oak. And again, these people are pretty pricey as well. And the Bob Container in Texas. And these guys they appear to be very good. They offer a lot of design and also they offer design permit and custom design as well. So, I want to show you here. Those I went online and I just want to show you some. So here is, and I'm looking for unique places because I go on Airbnb in the Joshua Tree area. You can rent a beautiful house and it's not that expensive. But if you rent something like this that is really unique, you see how beautiful it is. You're outside look at that, and you can have a container built like this, depending on your budget. You see, you have a hot tub. This looks like a container, actually.
Oh, I can't see the picture.
I can't see any.
Oh, okay.
I see
Shows the website address.
yeah.
I don't see.
Hold on a
either.
second. Look at that shower. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh,
this
wow.
is in the Joshua Tree area. It really looks, if you see the main house, this looks like a container, actually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And see, it's in the middle of nowhere. Look at the interior.
Is it a container or no?
It looks like one.
It looks like one.
It's a little wide, though, for a container.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's a modular structure. Look at the bathroom. And you find yourself in the middle of nowhere in this luxury. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. There's this other one. And this one here, actually, it's pretty expensive too.
Elko House.
It's 326 per night. That's there's this one here. This is a trailer, like a air screamer, $277 a night. And obviously you have a lot of stuff, around. You have a fire pit, there's a barbecue here, there's a little outdoor shower. And that's what people want, especially when they go to nature or outdoor area, hammock.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Looks relaxing.
Yeah, and it's $275 a night. And let's see this one. And this is kind of very special. And this one is $211 a night, and it's for 2 people. It's like a little. It's not glass actually. It's kind of, it looks like plastic, but it's beautiful. And I'm sure people. I mean, I would rather live in a place like this than just a regular home on a regular street. So I think there's a lot of possibilities, with those container home. So if any of you have questions, go ahead. If I didn't answer some of your question, I'd be happy to answer.
I'm wondering, how long ago did you start your research?
I started probably maybe 9 months ago, but I've always been looking. I think it's about that time that my daughter told me she was going to be based over there. So I started looking. And also one reason why I did that, she was looking for a place to live, and there's not too many nice places to rent. I'm telling you, if you look at real estate there's a lot of rundown houses. And so that's why I decided to just go for it and do it there. And she will probably live in the main unit there while she's there. I think she's going to be there for another 3 years. And after that, I might just use it simply as an Airbnb, a short-term rental, or also since there's a lot of Marine people there, I might just rent it to 2 other Marine. One thing that really makes me feel better, it's about that she'll be on the property, because everything is so open there. Anybody can just come and put a tent, and so at least if there's somebody living in the main unit, there's always people going in and out. So I think I would have a better control, or put cameras on the property, because I don't know what's going to happen.
So you have the containers ordered already. Have they been delivered, or are you waiting?
So now the thing is, once I decide to go ahead, I tell the builder, and the builder order the containers. They deliver them into their factory. They build them on site, and once they're done, they just deliver. And most of them, they say it's a process of about 4 to 12 weeks maximum building. Okay. And the last time I talked to the fellow from Phoenix, he was telling me, he said, tell me as soon as possible, because sometime he had a customer, the container was pretty much finished, but he was waiting for some windows, because I want big windows, and those sometimes they are hard to find, and so he said, I'm just waiting for the windows to arrive to complete the project. So
So what will be your end cost for these?
Well, I'm hoping not to go over 300,000, and that's my budget. And this is including also putting the water meter, the wells, and the finishing product. So the estimate just to build the containers and have them delivered is about, I think 198 is the most expensive one. No, 210 is the most expensive one. So this is build and delivered. So the rest, you have to keep in mind that you have some, you want to do the landscaping, and the foundation, the water meter, the well, I mean, the septic tank. And so,
So is land cost on top of the 300?
no,
The land is included.
no, the land is not included. The land is already paid for. So,
Okay, so it is separate.
yeah. And the piece of land that I just showed you earlier, it's a 2.5 acre. I paid 18,000.
Oh, wow.
And I just bought another piece of property there in 29 Palm. It's 3.5 acre and I paid 25,000.
So curious. I'm sure you already figured all this out, but like, I know that Tressa was mentioning like company like Evolve, like handling everything, you know, who's going to handle the housekeeping and the repairs and all of that, being it's so far out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, my daughter's there. She's going to be living on the property in the main, you know, the 2 units where there's the 2-bedroom, 2-bath with the little garage or the shed. And then she's going to do the house cleaning and I'm going to pay her for that.
Got it.
But, you know, it's for me, it's kind of a win-win for her. You know, she has a place to live. She might even buy it once it's done. Because she's in the military, she can buy a house for $0 down. And I mean, if it would be around 250, that would be in her budget. And so if she buys it, I can turn around and go and develop the other 3.5 acre. And the other 3.5 acre, it's a R2 zone, which means you can build 2 units on each acre. So I can build 6 units on that property.
Wow, nice.
And I want to do Airbnb because I've been doing Airbnb. I've been renting a room here in my house for the last, I think I started in 2018 and constantly having people.
You're in NorCal, right?
Yeah, I'm in San Francisco.
Oh, I'm in San Jose. So you said that you can only do it for 90 days though, right?
No, well, I'm in Alameda. I always say I'm in San Francisco because if you are from New York City and
yeah, true.
But Alameda, I've never required me to a permit, and it's a nice room. I have a private bath, and during the pandemic, we redid the bathroom, and I've always had people, always.
Do you prefer that over the long-term rental? It's just the income level is higher.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Teresa's webinar? That's pretty much what it is.
It's just that sometimes there's an uncertainty, right? To get booking for.
Well, for me, it's not. I don't really rely on that. It's just like, hey, if I can make an extra $500 a month, that'd be nice, and I do. And usually, I always have nice people. I've never had bad experience. I'm a super host on Airbnb, and you know, like now I have a kid who's staying here. He's doing an internship in town, and his mom rented the room for the whole summer, and she didn't ask me any break, you know, because Airbnb, that's what they recommend. If you want a longer term, you can reduce your price to 5%, 10%, and she booked it, and you know, he's going to be here until mid-August. He's a nice kid. And I like having people in my house because I have 3 kids. They're all gone. And it's nice. I mean, it's easy money.
Yeah, true.
But this year, it's the first time that Airbnb, you have to declare the income. Like I was never asked to declare the income. And I think now if you make over 20,000 for the year, you have to declare this income. So, but we did a lot of remodeling for on the house for that. We redid the bathroom, we changed the windows. And so this is all, you know, income tax deductible. So I'm going to put all of that.
I'm looking for a house and I'm thinking, maybe I should buy a small house with a big lot and put a couple of these modulars in the back for ADU, but I have to check and see if the city allows it because this is not the city.
Yeah. My son lives in Phoenix and he's looking for a house now. And in Phoenix, in California, you cannot find big lots. So
You can for Central Valley. So I'm thinking
yeah,
about moving closer to Fresno.
yeah. But in Phoenix, a lot of the properties are huge lot, and you oftentimes see 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and you have a huge backyard. And so, and again, in Phoenix, they do permit. I mean, I know Scottsdale permits it, unless it's not all home association that permits that, but most condominium townhouses, they all permit it, and it's it's a great way to get extra income, and it's always bring value to your property.
And we're solving
Lucy,
a problem.
yeah, right. Well, you've given me ideas, Lucy, in terms of some of the properties out here where I live in Awanga. It's a destination for motocross hikers in the Cleveland National Forest. And there's nothing like that out here. The only place people can stay overnight is the casino, but nobody wants to go there because it's smoky. And people say it's disgusting. I've never been in there, but so this sounds like a great idea for out here. So you're very brave in tackling the project.
Well, it's kind of fun. I like it. I did remodel our home 20 years ago. My husband and I remodeled the house. We didn't build it, but we designed it. We were subcontracting. So this is something I always wanted to do. Actually, I wanted to be an architect, but I decided to go to a movie industry, which was a big mistake. Anyways, but the thing also that really put a seed in my mind is I'm a personal trainer, and one of my clients last Thanksgiving, she went to Joshua Tree and she said, Lucy, is this terrible? I mean, there's no accommodation, and if there is, it's very expensive. And I think in 29 Palm there's one hotel. That's it. So, and she lived in that hotel, and she said it was not really attractive. So, and I know that Joshua Tree is very popular destination.
It is.
There's 3 million visitors every year.
Well, you're doing a service then for that group, for that.
Yeah.
So did you get into the program, the REM program?
Well, I watch all the videos and I learn quite a bit, but I'm a mindset coach, and I know that this business is just like, go get it, and that's all mindset. So if you sit here and say, should I call these people? Should I do this? You're not going to be successful. And of course, the knowledge is important, what they give you. But with all the mindset courses I took, and I'm actually a mindset coach. I have a bunch of clients.
I was going to say that.
I know that I can do it. It's just a matter of doing it. And I'm doing it now. And, also, I used the PropStream website. I signed up for the free trial, and I looked around, and I wasn't that satisfied. And all of a sudden, I found this new website. It's called Freedom Soft. And I know that in PropStream, if you want the contact list, you have to pay. You have to pay for everything. But this website is a little bit more expensive. It's $195 a month. But everything is free. You have a contracts letter. You can do email campaign, social media campaign, and it's all free. And the guy gave us a demo, and in 15 minutes, he had sent a list, a bunch of emails to contacts. He got all their phone number. So I'm trying this, and this guy is giving the coaching. Also, he's coaching people on how to use the platform. So
what was that called?
Freedom Soft.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. This guy's going to have a webinar, and at the end he's going to offer the service. And I just took it because that's really what I want. And I really didn't feel comfortable with the PropStream. It's really and obviously they do have seminars I think Tuesdays and Thursdays. They do have a webinar to teach people. But the thing is, if you have to pay each time you want to do a click, it's at the end it's going to cost you a lot of money.
It's expensive. Yeah. Connected Investors has a similar program, and they do have a software program. that will give you the information, contact information for the distressed
Okay.
homeowner. And they
But
categorize
that-
it by probate and Mhm.
Isn't that the one that they call Pin Plus?
PIN Plus 5. Are you familiar with it? Have you used it?
I just went to their webinar yesterday. It sounds like it's really much better than PropStream
Yeah.
because you have everything there.
And you know what
Right.
I really like? With the soft Freedom Soft is you have all the contract. So for example, if you want to do a wholesale, you click there, the contract is there, you filled it out, you send it to the person, and the person can sign it right away. So
Yeah.
you can, it's like you don't have to go anywhere, you know, and you don't have to send anything. So I'm just giving it a try. And I'm
Pin
really
Plus has that too. They have contractors. They actually have private money lenders, a whole list
yeah.
that you have to do. And the program also has, if you go in and you look at distressed properties or you see something that looks like it needs to be rehabbed,